Oh, we gotta turn this one off.
What one? This guy?
Yeah.
I doed it.
Nice.
Are we live?
Yeah.
The conspiracy.
We have to wait for this trailer.
We've got to watch this nature trailer.
I think our audio is probably...
Probably. I hope so. When this happens, we should just, narrate the trailer. Hi, everybody! Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Wait,
wait, the camera.
I sure did. That is definitely my bad. Hi, hello, everybody! We are, I'm Allie.
I'm Angelo.
And we are streaming to you, this lovely Thursday evening. Oh, can you not hear? Oh, you can hear. I hear. Bruno Suprema says, I can hear. No image. Well, now there is image. Unless... Wow, is it... It's dark in here. It's scary. I'm going to get scared.
Do you want me to turn the lights
on?
Hi,
Warp! No, I'm good. I won't get that scared. Just, I might get a little scared.
I'm easily spooked.
It's getting close to Halloween. So, yeah, there might be, a ghost. Maybe a bat. Perhaps a spider. So anyway...
I've seen all these things around the office.
Really? Do tell.
And skeletons and,
so many skeletons. Skeletons and all kinds of crazy... In the cheese, even. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to our stream tonight. I'm going to be doing a little bit of concept art, but we're both here to keep up with the chat and answer questions and talk to you guys, and just you've got us for the next hour. Oh no, I've ruined.
No,
oh gosh,
chat.
I've banished you all to the void. I keep doing that. Okay, I'm gonna have to be more craftsy with that. But yeah, you've got us here for the next hour to see some cool concept art. What I am working on right now is artist Mally and I are putting our heads together, imagining what makes a workshop a workshop. So this is in light of some interesting things kind of fiddling in the background about making maybe some cooler workbenches. But beyond that, we're interested in
Geester says Magma Smith?
Someday.
One day.
You know how excited I am about the really magical classes? I'm just... Magma Smith and Geomancer are going to be just super shiny and pretty. But yes, no, we're sticking with particularly the Blacksmith class right now. And just making a lot of art and doodles about not just new kinds of furniture, but part of it is that, and some really cool stuff has come out of that. But also how do you arrange the space, and what in particular makes it feel like an awesome workshop where your crafter goes in and makes amazing crafts. And so yeah, I'm gonna be tooling around on one version of what an apprentice blacksmith workshop might be like.
So I see some sketches here already. Is this stuff you were doing earlier
Yeah, so
today?
This is some ideation that we've already done earlier today. So Mally and I have been basically ripping out these little thumbnail sketches, just in this style. I'm going to zoom in a little so you guys can see what we're doing. And you can see they're not very detailed. These aren't meant to be... What is happening to my life? I can't have the spacebar thing that gives me the control? Oh my goodness. What could this mean? Hang on a minute.
Hand tool.
Yeah, usually hand tool is spacebar. My hotkeys? Yeah. My hotkeys aren't.
Try hitting F a bunch. Wait, no, don't do that.
Did somebody unplug I think someone unplugged the keyboard.
Wait, this keyboard.
You're right. So, for everybody who couldn't see my hands just now, there are no fewer than 3 keyboards in front of me. So I have a 1 in 3 chance of
Justin,
picking
are you
wrong.
Watching?
So, prepare for more of that. So yeah, let me move this guy out of the way. So, we've got a tack board that's taller than I am, and it's...
Sorry to interrupt, but Kitty O'Doom says, it'd be interesting if it wasn't just 1 or 2 pieces of furniture, but actually took into consideration everything in a building area. Make a designated crafting building relevant instead of just a fancy town designing.
That's exactly the thought process. So if you'll notice that these drawings, so these are just thumbnails, these are not even at base sketch stage, are more about laying out a whole room, laying out a whole space. And I don't think I have one in here, but also trying to think of hey, if we have this larger than life furnace situation for an advanced blacksmith, what does that look from the outside of the crafting shop? Would you be able to see at a distance a huge smokestack coming off the back or something?
That'd be awesome.
That would be super cool, because then at a distance you could be oh man, there's a super cool blacksmith who works here. But again, though, this is in super concept land, and we've only really been hacking away at this for about a day and a half.
That furnace is winking at us.
Which one?
That one.
This guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what Geister says anyway.
I don't know how I feel about this. So this one's like got this like kind of lower lip thing going on with like the coals from the furnace like spilling forward, so the would-be blacksmith doesn't have to like reach their entire body into the fire, which would be super weird. And we're also like a little perplexed about how to resolve the issue of the bellows. So like right now, if you look at the craft station for the blacksmith, it's this cool little like, honestly the first time I saw it I thought it was a well, but it's like this kind of got this cobblestone base. You know what, I can draw an example.
Do you have a picture? Oh.
I have.
Or you just draw it
I
out
have
real
the
quick.
power of making pictures.
Whoa.
Little do you know, I'm an artist. Is this upside down? This is not upside down. Is this the right keyboard? This is the right keyboard. So like the first time I saw like, this is going to be like hyperdoodle time. Whoa, it's been a while since I've drawn on the Intuos. Neat. So like it's got like this kind of square bottom with like little cobbly stone guys. I'm sure if you've played our game, you've seen this. And then it's got like this top part that's, I think it's sort of like like a vent.
I've seen this.
But instead it's not a vent. It comes to like a little point.
Yeah, it's a little.
So it's
got
got like it's a little
house
house.
for fire because
It's
there's
a
some
house for
coals in
fire.
there.
Fire lives here. Firehouse. Here's the fire, and it's happy because this is its house. But anyway, at the moment, like this has got this thing going on with the bellows just kind of like hanging out on the side, and somehow this thing moves. Magic, ghosts. So that's we're finding that's less of the reality breakingness of this is less of a problem, because like it only does that when your crafter is over here like making things. But what is a problem though is when we talk about this in terms of like what is a good design. So we understand that things as they pertain to the hearthlings, like the square is like a really strong shape. We want it to be like kind of big and friendly, like not spindly and breakable. So when you have like a big strong shape, like if you look at this, it's all like nice and contained within the space. Everything feels kind of close together. You have a little bit of a weirdness in here with these like really thin struts, but that's okay. But when you have like a piece that's coming off like this at a really fragile point like this, that doesn't feel very strong. So one of the really huge puzzles that we've got right now is how to better incorporate the bellows into the design of the furnace without it like looking super absurd. Or maybe it does look super absurd and that's super cool.
Keister says also the oven is a bit tiny. Which oven are you talking about?
We have some ovens. We have a kiln. We have are we talking about the cook? I do not know.
I don't know.
Though scale is important too.
Oh, the cooks.
Yeah, so we're not even thinking about the cook just yet, which is not true. We are thinking about the cook, but like we're starting. So we have like a billion crafters, and we're starting this process focusing on one of them, just to see how it all works out. And that's kind of a better way of like focusing and figuring out a way forward than trying to tackle everybody all at the same time, which takes a lot longer. And that's just like, it could amount to a crazy unnecessary amount of work, because let's say it's like, oh man, everybody needs like 30 things, and then you do that for like,
3 years.
5 different ones before you realize, no, in fact, they all just need like 5. And then it's like, this took 8 years, and then you're sad. Or maybe you're excited, because look at all this stuff you got to make. But yeah, so that is what I have been up to.
Can you zoom in on that one? I can't see what's
What
going
one?
on. This one.
This guy?
Yeah.
So this guy over here, this is, wow.
Oh, there's an anvil.
Yeah, so what you'll see over here, there's like, so this is, at least in the studies I've been, oh wow, I'm on the wrong layer. At least in the studies that I've been working on so far, this little area over here is like the super rough bones of a sketch of like an apprentice blacksmith workshop. So for comparison, and again, these drawings are really rough. They don't really give a sense of any kind of finish, polish, grandeur, or otherwise. But like when I think of like a really awesome blacksmith workshop, like, and honestly in either situation, like I want to see the hearth, like the furnace, as like the literal heart of the room, of the space. Like that thing is just like, that is what is powering this entire space. So no matter what I do, I know in the hierarchy of things that I want to look at, the hearth is definitely like the central component. And in like an awesome room, like I want to see, again, this is concept land, I want to see something like big and impressive, like the size of a wall even, if that's even possible, in this version anyway. We've still got a lot of exploring left to do.
So Sir Asterix says, yes, that's sort of what we're talking about. Sir Asterix says, trying to get on the same page, so we're talking about having different stations per crafter to make more of a shop. Yeah.
Sort of, kind of, yes. These studies in particular are about not just designing cooler workstations, but about creating spaces that feel even more like a workshop than just any old room with a bunch of things in it. So this has the possibility... This has the possibility of like sneaking a bit into just like pure concept territory, but that's good. We can start wide and pare down from there, and it's honestly that's what we want to do. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So like, if we start here and say, wow, that's really big and awesome and impressive, then it's like, so when you're first starting out, what does your like baby's first furnace look like? And that's kind of where this little guy came in, and it's a little bit inspired by the kiln that we have in game, but also by just a lot of other processes, many of which I don't have here. Yeah, because I only scanned a couple of them. That was short-sighted of me. Like, here was an attempt to make the big one smaller, and the only reason you can tell is because the anvil looks bigger next to it, and it's just like, well, that's not very exciting. This, if you can believe it, is an anvil on a tree stump. I know it looks like a strange amoeba, but that's what this means.
I can see it.
This looks better.
So,
but like seriously, like
here.
what is
Finna
this?
Games is asking, when is the game coming on Mac? The game will come on Mac, but right now it's a lower priority than getting the game right. You can currently run the game on Mac if you run it under Wine. Unfortunately, right now you have to use Legacy version Alpha 19. You can check on Discourse for that. Bibine says, will it be static or customizable? I think you mean the workshops?
The placements, they should, so I think they would be movable. I don't think it would be super great. Like, I would hate it.
It's sort
if
of
it was
concept
just, like,
land, so it's not really like we know what that's gonna be. But
so like from
my
from my perspective, I'm going at this from like in my dream of dreams, in our like greatest fantasy, like what is the coolest Stonehearth workshop, but like what that means to everybody is super different. But the reason it's important to start from that vantage point, who's that Pokemon? The reason it's important to start from that that vantage point is so that we're not like restricting ourselves to like, well, we have this model, so let's just paint on top of this and push it a little further. We want to think a little bit more aspirationally. That way we can actually like assess like some bigger ideas in there.
That is the cutest anvil I've seen in my whole life.
I don't know if I'd feel like maybe this thing's gotta be sturdy if it can take hammer strikes.
Like, in a world where that monster is real, that's a scary world.
This is scary. Good lord. It would just like ram into your house and break your wall. It turned into an angry feline. Oh, it's very hot and very... Oh my gosh, this just got better. Some coals.
Wait, what happened? Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just literally on fire. Magma cat. Anyway, that's not what this stream was about. So
save that one for later.
it's later ideas. So moving a bit on from that idea. So it's like, okay, we can take this one starting point. And again, I can't stress enough that this is literally like one version. Mally's got some really incredible drawings of like these crazy contraptions that like have like scaffolding that pump bellows on the side, and that's super cool. So it's like that even like begs the question of like, is there like a world where the engineer makes a type of furnace that's like automated and like rad looking? There's other concept sketches that we've done. I should have just taken a picture of the whole wall. I feel stupid talking about them like this. But like, there's other concept sketches that we've done have been like, hey, in the big furnace, wouldn't it be cool if like the big fire dragon guy. I don't know how many of you guys were there for the monster streams for the desert that I did like a really long time ago, but we had this magma lizard named Zilla. So some of the like really advanced forges are like, you just literally have a Zilla that lives in your workshop, so and just like the heat coming off of this creature is all you need. But then it's like, what do you feed that? What do Zillas eat?
Probably rocks.
Probably. I feel like that's the right answer. So you can imagine like, yeah, there's like a version of this. There's like, yeah. So some of this is like realistic research about like, okay, what does this look like? And then some of it is also like, what's the fantastical version of that, and like where do we want to meet in the middle?
Welcome, Allie.
Hey, Allie. We're not talking about you or anything.
Nope.
There's like some ideas for like shelves back here. I think they kind of look like bleachers, so like maybe other Hearthlings like come in to watch them work or something. But they're really meant to be just like adorable shelving
units. They just sit
units.
there and clap, and it makes them do a better job.
Yeah. Honestly, though, wouldn't it be cute if like, let's say like this workshop is outdoors, and like a Hearthling like runs by on their business, and like they see what the crafter is doing. They're like, oh my god, and they like celebrate for a second and egg them on, and then just keep running. That's adorable, I think, but I don't know. This is the danger of how things like Rabbit trail off when all you do is draw pictures and you don't have to worry about actually making it work. I'm so sorry. So here's another evolution of your like apprentice blacksmith furnace, and I had a couple of ideas here. One going back to the idea that if we think about this in terms of like just like a handful of ideas that we know that we want this space to evoke, like strength and fortification and light and heat and warmth and sturdiness. Like we come back to like, okay, we know that we want this thing to have like a strong silhouette. So it's probably going to be based on a square or some kind of just like big sturdy shape, just big thick shapes. So knowing that as like the ideal outcome, when I was thinking about this version of the beginner's furnace, I'm sorry, that word tried to get away from me, and I had to work really hard. I did. I caught it before it escaped. You almost had me like saying a bunch of things. So it's like in this case, like,
oh, Max is also watching.
Please don't record everything we say. Oh wait.
Oh.
Oh damn.
No, but we definitely weren't talking about you, Mally.
Not a bit. So, like, in this version, like, the block is shortened. It's got little feet, but, like, so that we know that this thing is heavy, we shortened those feet. So that way it's like, oh, man, they're bearing a lot of weight, so this thing is, like, squat and, like, supporting everything else. And then it has these parts that are made of kind of thinner, more fiddly bits, like these things that are holding up, like, this crossbar that's suspending this, I don't even know what this would be made out of, but like you would like put your metal to be heated up in here, so it would like trap the heat and make it like super warm, almost like a kettle, but like more cool. Instead of making tea, it makes knives eventually.
A metal kettle.
Metal kettle. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't why I came here today. But anyway, so the visual language of this is like, yes, it's got this big sturdy foundation. But you can also see it's got these bits that are like, you know, they could think this a bit, they could think this through. This has room to grow. This is probably not the most permanent solution they could come up with. But it like has that built into its visuals. So it's like strength, but there's room to improve. And room to improve is something that has like been on my mind with all of these. It's like when we're drawing these things, like you can put those on any kind of scale and come up with conceivably something that looks cooler and something that looks like, you know, the pre-evolution.
I think they're teaching us. Geister and Kitty O'Doom say it's called a crucible.
Crucible! Yes. Hey, wait, no, I said that too yesterday. We were talking about foundries. Yes, that is what it's called, the crucible.
I learned something.
We learned things. Education time. But again, though, making sure that there's room to improve and building that into your visual language is super important. Another idea was like where we use wood. I mean, that sounds super dangerous. But like in this little water pail here, like I don't know if you'd ever see a Hearthling like actually like dip a finished molten hot thing into water to cool her down, but like you would see in like an earlier class of workshop something that has like fresher and brighter wood. It hasn't been used a lot. Whereas in an advanced workshop, like even like with this table, like it would feel newer, it would feel brighter.
So you're like telling a story with the materials.
You're telling a story with the materials. But like in an advanced workshop, where's my other doodle? Oh, I guess I don't have that one. Nope, I didn't. Okay. Oh, well, here's part of it.
More advanced.
Yeah, so like in an advanced workshop, like the pieces are bigger and thicker, so scale is an indication of like, okay, it's visually more grandiose, but like the type of wood it's made of is like, it's gonna be richer, it's gonna have like more marks of like having been used, it's gonna have more metal work on it because this crafter is like more experienced and knows to use that. It's gonna be built in a way that can like take even more weight, so like even sturdier legs, even more immovable, even more permanent. Not that it's immovable, but like this gives like a completely different impression. Like the person who built this table went, I need a table. And the person who built this table went, I need a table that can do this. So this one's been like...
There's more thought behind this table.
This one, there's more thought behind this one, yeah, absolutely. And then again, the materials that it's made of also help tell that story of who's using it, what's it for, how long have they been doing this? Like similarly, like we saw earlier today, like this concept of like, oh man, wouldn't it be adorable if like the anvil was like sitting on like a cute little tree stump? Whereas like a full-on like awesome tier anvil is like, no, this is going to be like completely metal. It might even have like molten coals in the base because that's rad. I don't know how you would work in it without burning your britches, but here we are. It would have like a point on each side. Mally and I both also have drawings of like another idea of this is like, oh boy, here we go. Anvils are sure a shape.
So probably muted says, is multiplayer still in the picture? Yes, Morgan and I are currently working on multiplayer. Definitely in the picture.
So yeah, like another version of this is like an anvil that's like got a part cut away into it so that it's actually full of hot coals and has like an area where you can keep your metal hot while you're working on it. So it's like, that's kind of like a sweet step up from just your basic hunk of metal anvil.
It looks kind of like a sewing machine.
It looks like a sewing machine. It also looks like a creature. So we're going to turn this one into an animal too.
Ooh. Oh, make it determined.
Has the stream seen Determined Pollo yet?
I don't think so.
Get ready. Honestly, I ought to make you draw this because you've been drawing Determined Pollo the most.
No.
Am I too close to the top? We're too close to the top. So the reason this is important is because Determined Pollo has something that no other Pollo does, other than heaps of determination. So far, everything is as expected. But get ready. Determination. Anyway, now that's happening.
Wait, sparkles.
Oh, you're right. How could I forget? This is the most important part.
Probably muted says, awesome, thanks for a follow-up question. What sort of multiplayer do you see for this game? Player settlement versus player settlement, or sort of a co-op, or something totally different? It's still up in the air, but we're definitely looking at co-op first, and that's more like of a gameplay thing. I'm looking at the sort of like infrastructure, technical, like making it possible side. So we are getting there, and definitely looking at co-op. Okay. Kitty of Doom says Magma-Smith, the blacksmith that tames all his equipment, because Allie's really good at monsterizing her gear. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, that'd be cool. I'm sorry, this just became a constellation.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna steal that for my next Inktober.
Okay.
I'm gonna put writing on like a rainbow with a star. That sounds great.
So,
attack eyebrows, determined eyebrows.
Exactly. Okay, here's another...
Party Goblin versus Determined Pollo.
Party Goblin is just here to have a good time.
I think, actually, Determined Pollo would just ride on the back or on the head of Party Goblin.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd draw that right now, but it would take too long.
Yeah.
And we're spending a lot of time goofing off, which is fine. I like doing that. This is fine. This is
Back to the forge.
This is a cursed image of my stylus.
Cursed image number 451.
I took this with my phone. But anyway, here's like another evolution of the small, like an idea of a smaller furnace. And it kind of gave way to this weirdo over here, which in turn led to this one over here. And it's like, it's an entirely different shape from what you get with like the super huge big one. It's made out of the big strong shapes. I like this big prominent smokestack up here. But we're working to see like, anyway, just to make that official, we're working to see if we can like bring it a little bit further back towards like being like almost a miniature like fireplace hearth, like a miniature mantle. Whereas like over here you have like this full on like get out of here. We're gonna make so much stuff in this room, like you don't even know. But like this is a little more portable.
Is it just like a different idea, or?
Yeah, it's a different idea, but this is like with the idea of like it has room to grow. When you compare this to this, it's a lot more effective of comparing this to this, because these are like the difference between these two is super subtle, whereas the difference between like these two is pretty evident, and the difference between these two is also pretty evident. There's a different silhouette, a different shape, and they tell a different story. I like that this one like has the same kind of like open mouth thing going on as this one over here, whereas like this has like two huge torches for eyeballs.
So Sir Asterix is asking about the workbenches. So would these upgrades to the workbenches be replacing them as you level up, or would these be additional better ones, like furniture versus regular? I think you and Richard were talking about that, right?
I'm a little unclear on how to answer that concretely.
I think they were thinking about upgrades, but it's not like a decided
thing.
thing.
I mean, the idea is like you want to think. We want to be able to think of our crafters as like being like people in the community that are like growing and evolving, and as such, their workshop should have the ability to do so too. So my instinct would be that they are like you would be upgrading your workstations. But both ideas are being explored, as Max is saying. We're still figuring out what we want to do. So yeah. I think that's all the history I have on this before I dive into this beautiful like 3-second drawing. It's been a busy day. I can't erase this because I'm on the wrong layer. Now I can.
You have the power.
The power is all mine. Or at least the Photoshop right now is. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is I am trying to make a more thorough study of this scene here, and my hope is that as this gets filled out, as we spend a little more time with this drawing, some cool things that you can't really answer with the 3-second sketch will start to emerge. In particular, I'm interested in seeing like what kind of solutions we can come to with the bellows, like being a part of the scene object workstation. Words get away from me all the time, guys. I'm so sorry. This is what you have.
A turtle? Where's the turtle? Bruno Supremo says a turtle at the bottom.
Yes! This is...
Determined turtle.
Must everything be determined?
Yes.
This is definitely not what this was supposed to be, so... What I was actually going for down here is, like, the kind of, the kind of more ramshackle workbench table with like a circlet or something on it to denote as like, oh, this is where they go and like do like finer details to their work. But specifically so that when you see like this sure is a table, like, you know, again, like sort of like the story that we're trying to tell with like this up here, you know that this is somebody's table. This is being used for something. At least in concept land, that's my goal. Whether or not that's a thing that we end up doing, yeah, I can't stress enough, like, please don't accept any concept drawing as, like, full-on canon and or gospel.
Hi, Hyrule symbol.
Hello? Crap, you're late again. Thieving turtle crawls in, waits for you to place a bucket or ore on its head, then crawls off with your ore. Sneaky. Kitty O'Doom promises to says, that's okay, when all this is released, I will sit and make a monster workbench mod, actually turn them all into monster designs in honor of this stream. This is exactly what we wanted.
Nice.
I don't know, there just can't be any other way. This is the logical evolution of this process. Soon everything will be monsters.
That would be so cute if everything like woke up and had eyes and walked
I feel
around.
like that game tells a very different story. Like you're pioneering in the wilderness and you find all of these monsters that like
suddenly everything starts melting and
like yeah, and you're just like, wow, you know what this turtle would be good for? Stealing things. No, standing really still so I can work on its back. Now it's a turtle table. And, like, you end up living, like, arranging monsters to help make your houses, and you, like, live in weird symbiosis.
Oh, that would be so cute.
I kind of feel like this is adorable.
Uncriminal turtle.
It's not. It's not Uncriminal Turtle. It never runs red lights.
It walks red lights.
It does, very slowly. It can't help it. The light was green when it started. Yeah, so I might be moving a little slow on these guys. It's been a while since I've drawn with one of these. I've finally gotten used to the Cintiq, and now it's very hard to go back. But yeah, Monster Hearth. Oh, Rune Factory.
That was a good one.
You know, the day I turned around and talked to my pet wolf and the UI popped up and went, "Do you want to ride this?" Like, my whole world ended. That was like the rest of my day.
Maybe after we're done with Turnip Town Defenders, we can do Monster Hearth.
Monster Hearth. That's exactly what I want. Might be too close to this. It's hard for me to work really, really large when I'm first sussing out, like, just the proportions of a drawing. But yeah. So what is Turnip Town Defenders? I've been seeing sticky notes all over the office for Turnip. What has he been doing to you guys?
Well, Justin and I are working on a tower defense mod for Stonehearth.
Turnip.
Yes, where you plant turnips, and then you use those turnips to create turnip shooters, and then you shoot turnips at goblins. Well, stonelings.
Alright. Turnip Town Defenders.
Though it would be cool if the actual stonelings, we switch them out, the models for turnips, so they're actually like turnip monsters.
We've got the models for the cactuslings running around.
Oh yeah, I'll just change the colors to purple.
You could think of that. Let's make like the whole head a turnip. What does this even mean?
Looks like Warp is interested in this Crafter Pets idea.
Crafter Pets!
Crafter Pets is an awesome idea. If someone made models and anims, I would totally program that.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Something's happening. Kitty O'Doom says find an animator, and I'm on board. I'm only just getting a handle on properly layering everything. Animating process looks terrifying so far. Talk to Mally, or watch his streams. Hyrule Symbol. He's been brainwashing us about turnips, so we can only think about it.
This is exactly what, like, I turned on the stream and everyone was just like saying turnips over and over again, and I didn't even know what that was about.
Turnip Town.
I'm not drawing a single turnip. I won't do it.
Single tear. Hyrule Symbol says, what exactly is a Crafter Pets?
So I've been turning all of these drawings, like, into creatures. Like, and now they've taken on a new life. Though in all seriousness, we do have concept art at the office floating around of like cool
Allie,
cool dinosaurs.
You've earned a salt emoji from a dusty old muffin.
What? How have I done this?
It's your anti-turnip attitude.
I see. I don't know what to do with this information. I'm just gonna keep drawing. I'm just gonna keep doing my work. Ugh. Ugh.
Whoa. That's cool, Warp. Warp says, ha ha ha, imagine the trapper could find animals that... I'm doing his voice perfectly, by the way. Animals
it's
that
like they're really here.
Yeah, it's like you're really here, Warp. Find animals that had the abilities of certain workbenches, and they'd follow their respective crafters. That would be really cute.
This is definitely Crafter Pets. Anyway, I'm excited about this. Why aren't we making that game?
We are making that game. Through the power of modding. Watch Turnip Town at 11, or whenever we're going to do it next.
Yeah, I will. I'm vitally interested in anything that happens to our cute little turnip ballistas. Whoa, it suddenly just got real quiet. Is there a ghost?
Whoa, that is weird.
Are we alone?
I still hear the lamb party.
Okay, cool. Then we're definitely only like 30% haunted right now, I feel like. Like, here's the meter.
Warp says, everything sounds so much better when Angelo says it. Oh, thank you, Warp. So he's like, oh, you do me better than I do.
So here's the haunted O-meter. It's pretty low right now.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Wait, draw my sanity meter.
No. I refuse. Alright, so we were, like, thinking that it would be super cute if the furnace had a face.
Mm-hmm.
These would probably be, like, chips either cut into it or some kind of rivets on the outside of it.
It'd be cool if it was, like, a winky face with, like, some heart emoji. Thanks.
Just there, Merry Christmas.
That's exactly what I asked Santa for.
A really crude drawing of a not even remotely sussed out furnace design winking with a heart emoji and some sparkles.
Yeah, that's exactly what
it's
I read.
It's a Christmas miracle. This is perfect. It does feel really weird to be drawing like this again. It's amazing, like, how used to not, like when you're working on the tablet in your lap kind of thing, you get super used to that, and then it's really weird to work on this Cintiq, and then you try to go back, and it's like, I'm not looking at the screen, but my hands are doing things. Wait, I am looking at the screen. There is no screen.
Spooky.
Something's wrong. I feel like this shape has gotten too convoluted. But I'm going to keep moving around the picture and work my way back, because if I spend too much time in one place, we'll never finish up. I know in general, that piece feels like overall like that, like just like the whole silhouette of it. But I'm not going to fuss too much about the details just
Ruined.
yet. That's what you get.
A dusty old muffin says...
A dusty
old muffin says... A dusty old muffin says... Is she wearing a riot jacket?
Yes.
Yes, she is.
I am.
Oh, you can feed the furnace turnips, says Kitty O'Doom.
Oh, fine.
It spits coal back out at you.
There.
Yay! One of us.
This is just not. Well, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's part of the process.
It's actually great.
Need a bigger brush. Ooh, that's a very big brush. Need a less bigger brush. Better. So just keep on moving.
So for people who are joining us now, this is a sketch of a workshop.
Mm-hmm. This is a sketch of a conceptual workshop with the goal of, like, really trying super hard to imagine what an awesome workshop could be. And at the moment, like, our hypothesis is it's more than just cool furniture. It's the I'm gonna have to erase the turtle's head. I'm sorry. It's the way the entire space is set up, kind of like in conjunction with all of that. Possibly exterior too, but that's still in the works.
And, like, questions about, like, oh, how big is the workshop, and is the earlier workshop smaller, and you have to change the building size when you get a bigger workshop. It's not really resolved, but we're working through it, right?
Yeah, this is a pretty young problem, or puzzle, I should say. There's too many details right now. I'm still sussing stuff out. So when we did work on splash screens, like, I feel like it's been a while since we've had, like, a straight up illustration project that we can do together. Like, the last time I streamed, I spoke with you guys about, I mean, basically, like, the process of coming up with cool starting points for biomes and stuff like that. But, like, it's been a while since we've had, like, an ongoing project where we, like, sit down and work on things. So the process I'm doing right now is very much reminiscent of when we would first start doing a splash screen, where we have, like, a couple of thumbnails and we're just going in and, like, very loosely blocking in the composition. You'll see that these shapes stay pretty sparse for the time being. There's a lot of things that need to go into this space, so I don't want to spend too much time drawing on any of these. Like, it's Photoshop, so... Oh, hi. That's different. I didn't want you to do that. I mean...
Spooky.
Anyway, ghost.
Wait, you have to increase the ghost
Fine,
meter.
jeez. Tangent City over here. It's now that much more haunted. You know, I'm gonna say this much more haunted.
Yeah,
actually.
that was pretty haunted.
That was super
pretty
haunted.
spooky.
Anyway, So this is Photoshop, so to a point, I can like grab something like this and be like, oh, it needs to be bigger. So,
Ghost meter.
oh, jeez, give me a minute. So it's like, okay, I can just make it larger in the space, and then I'll go through and fix the perspective later, just as a placeholder. But like, it's more along the lines of like, when I'm finished adding in details, like there's other stuff in here that hasn't even been spoken for in this little rough mock-up. If I'm like, oh man, this barrel just like needs to be a completely different shape, and I've like literally spent like time like lovingly detailing every board and every rivet. Even in a simple style, it's a pain to have to like go back in and redo everything from such a level of detail. So start loose, work your way towards details. I can already tell this is too close.
Kitty of Doom is working on some lore for the crafter pets.
Excellent. All along, this was our plan. Or something.
That's how the crafter pets came to be. Actual crafting gear abandoned by ruined civilizations that came before you, haunted by the fallen crafters that once used them.
So wait, are they the fallen crafters that have possessed their gear
like
and like
it.
Turned into a cool pet?
Yeah, that sounds like a really good anime.
That's like an insane afterlife experience. I'm gonna haunt my brush so hard it turns into a bird brush. I just like I just run around screaming and painting. Just like real life.
Yeah. Toot.
Toot. It's the one note song. I have a little parrot, and he has a terribly ugly voice, but when he gets inspired, he sings just a one note song, and he sticks his neck out real tall, and you just get that one note, and that's all he can do. And then he goes back to mumbling weirdly. What a cutie. Alright, not gonna worry too much about actual details just yet. It's hard not to, though. Like, you get involved into drawing some of this stuff, and you're just like, oh man, I'm so into drawing the knots on this wood. But you can't be. You gotta go fast. I feel like I want to see some kind of like smaller pail like nearer to the anvil. Like that seems pretty good to me. Like some of the stuff in here is purely just for like balancing the space and filling it out and making it
like
feel
just
lived
for the
in.
composition? Or?
Yeah, like this, like the big barrel back here. Like I feel like it would be at least as tall as a hearthling. So like I could see like maybe you see some things resting in there eventually, but for now it's kind of filler space. Like I wanted there to be like room over here for like crates with things on them, just as like really bare bones.
Is like feeding fuel into the fire a thing? Does it just go in the mouth? Just like you feed the turnip to the...
Yeah, to the mouth.
Nice.
But the other thing is though, if I...
No!
Oh god, I'm sorry. I meant to erase this. I lost myself in the moment. I was possessed.
Yeah, that was more haunted. That was...
It was so haunted. Okay,
possessed.
So we are learning more about the identity of the ghost. They're really not into turnips.
That's sad.
We're reaching critical levels of haunting.
That's more than 50% haunted.
Like, I feel like we're gonna see a ghost before this stream ends. If any of you guys, like, see a weird apparition behind us while we're working, please let us know.
Call the Ghostbusters.
Oh, man. But as I was saying before, I was momentarily taken over by vengeful spirits from whatever afterlife to which they subscribe. If I put an item over here, it'll obscure the bellows, and one of the important things about these studies is seeing if we can find some peace with, like, bellows being built into the furnace. Like, you can see in this thumbnail over here, they're just, like, leaning against it, so conceivably, your hearthling would at some point go over there and, like, in your imagination anyway, like, work those at some point. But, like, actually having something inside of the station that is moving is really, really cool when the crafting is actually taking place, because it's like, oh, it's alive. I can tell that there's things going on. So where possible, like, we're trying to figure out ways of doing that. And a few of our workstations already do that. Like, the spinning wheel turns, the loom kind of clacks back and forth. Like, the Weaver is a really good example of, like, animations inside of the workstations.
So is the idea that the hearthlings could go over and like operate the bellows, or will it just be automatic?
I think it would just be automatic. I think at the moment we have some trepidations about like hearthlings interacting with something and animating. My brain breaks a little with the idea of them moving on their own, but at the same time, like, as long as they're at the station when it's going on, my imagination can fill in some of the rest, but that's kind of why we're trying to tease out a solution.
Speaking of animation, let's go back up here. Hyrule Symbol says they put a bird bath next to the furnace to make it look like a bucket of water.
Yeah, there we go.
So
like that, but on purpose.
But,
on our end, I mean, not on your end. You did it on purpose. I'm sorry.
But we could.
What if we?
Like the idea
but imagine. What if we actually like made things that you could put in a workroom, so that it would look like a shop. That's mean. I shouldn't be mean. We're doing our best.
I think I like the Lego thing though, where you have things.
You have the things, but then you can decide to do with them. You
decide what it is.
Like to an extent though, like I don't want to lose that because I think that's really exciting. Like it is never my ambition to be like, here are the toys and here's how you play with them, or else like one of the beautiful things about these games is, you're kind of figuring that out. There would be, I'm pretty sure there's like definitely more optimal solutions, but creativity is cool, essentially.
Kitty O'Doom says, train a pet to do it. Get a bunny to bounce on the bellows. And Max says, yes!
I mean, that could be really cute.
Or a Poyo, says Gaming Silver Knox.
With determination, no
Determined
less.
Poyo. Yeah, determined crafter Poyo.
I mean,
my hero crafts.
Your hero crafts! You have another one. You're gonna have to share those at some point.
I'll make a little booklet.
Oh my gosh.
PDF.
I want one. No, I want a book.
A physical one?
I want a physical book.
Right,
do some bookbinding.
Just
I have
for you.
I have a bone folder. I have some thread.
Okay.
Can hook you up with some cool paper. That looks like a book. It needs work. And I'm getting obsessive. I haven't finished filling everything in yet. And there goes a train.
Does that count as spooky?
No, we knew the trains were here. Ooh, rogue hiccups. Alright, trying to find some, like, if I'm thinking about this, super rogue hiccups.
Does that count as spooky?
Yeah, a little. Just a little spooky. Tiny bit.
Ghost Train, that's like Spirit Tracks. That was a good game.
I didn't play that one.
It's not as good as the other one,
It had the Toon Link.
Phantom Hourglass, but it was good.
Yeah, I didn't play either of those. Alright, kind of setting up this. I feel like that's too restrictive right now, though, because if the space wants to be bigger, I don't want to already define the floor. Definitely want to hang up, like, a sword or a shield over on the wall. I feel like that's a given.
This is Blacksmith Workshop, right?
Yeah, Blacksmith Workshop. So, like, having evidence...
Finished products.
Yeah, having some finished product. And also what's cool about this, in my mind, though, it's, like, that would be another really neat way to be able to tell, like, what level of blacksmith runs this shop. Like, so it's like you have, like, oh, man, there's, like, a cool sword on this wall. But, like, a master's, it'd be, like, it's got, like, stuff sticking off it and gems and, like, 30 teeth. It's also got 2 swords.
Hyrule Symbol is sharing some inspiration with us. Can we click on the link?
Yes. That's Moobot.
Not that one. That one.
House with Garden.
Oh, Home Sweet Home. It's a mod.
Woo! Yes.
Nice.
So cute.
Yeah, these are really cute.
These are really cute. Oh, look at the dishes. Yeah, no, it's stuff like this that really makes a space... Like, this is the stuff that really makes a space feel like a home. Like, that's super cool. Good inspiration. Plaques where... B-Bean says, there could be plaques where the object would be, and when there's none, there could just be a shadow of the item. That could be kind of neat.
So, like, when they level up, then the plaques get filled?
I think it would be really cool, like, sometimes when you, like, went and checked back on your crafter, if, like... you would see something about the room has changed. Like, there's a circlet on the table now. Which, by the way, that was the turtle's head, was, like, I was trying to be like, oh, then there could be, like, a circlet on the table. So, like, you know that is what is in the works in here. I'm trying really hard not to redraw the turtle. Also, I feel like the floor would be, like, some kind of packed down dirt at this point. Like, it wouldn't be like the super established, like, full, like, cobblestone floor kind of a thing. It's not to say this place was set up in a hurry, but it's to say that it's, like, they're more focused on, like, making stuff in here than making the space, like beautiful and functional. Like, focuses on getting better and utility, not on, like, beautification of the space. This is gonna be a fun little...
Hi, the stone monkey.
It's the stone monkey. The stone monkey. And then the thieving turtle is wearing the fancy circle. There's no going back.
Crunching on a sword, that makes sense.
Oh, there's no going back.
Magma turtle.
Magma turtle. All of the pets are magma if it's a blacksmith. Hello! Alright. So I definitely wanted to put some crates around. If this is a wall, I'd want to see, like, some torches on it. Or if this is an outdoor studio, like, you'd see, like, some bushes, some grass. Like, I think that would also be... Like,
it's kind of partially indoors?
Yeah, like, there would be, like, an overhang. So I would, like, draw the inside of the roof a little bit.
That makes sense. Like, the smoke has to go somewhere.
Yeah, otherwise, like, you'd suffocate. Like, in these guys, like, the main body of this thing is, like, outside, and you'd see, like, a chimney, like, again, ideally. But with these, it's like, you could just be like, oh, it's a cute fantasy RPG workshop, I don't care. Or you could be like, they're gonna die. Because there's nowhere for that to go. Open a window, magma turtle.
It just eats part of the wall.
The misadventures of the magma turtle,
the
right?
Determined magma.
He just eats part
magma turtle thief, uncriminal.
Oh, the thief class magma turtle. I wonder if it's in any way related to the Varanus.
Oh.
Because the Varanus is a turtle.
Distant cousin.
Little known fact. So there's like a really bad stand-in pillar right now. Be like where the ground is transitioning into some grass. Not gonna focus on that too hard just yet. Don't do it. Don't spend the time just yet. I don't want to draw the other post over here because that's gonna like hide most of the image. I'm just gonna focus on like kind of an RPG mode simulation. Hyrule Symbol says, as Stonehearth, you know, I was always a little odd about making the ingots on the forge. Isn't there supposed to be a workbench for only making ingots? Probably. Like, so there's kind of a weird thing where it's like trying to draw a good compromise between what's realistic and what's like enjoyable to see in the game that doesn't break your fantasy. Like, I think the end goal is like we want crafting to mean something. We want crafting to be like fun to watch when you take the time to watch it, to be delightful. So if part of that is like, you know, being really true to the actual process, like, oh man, we really do want like all of these tools that do all of these things, or you just need just enough information. Like, I know I want to see the blacksmith like bringing something like flaming and hot out of the forge and taking it to the anvil and hitting on that for a while, like, for sure. Is that enough to cover like all of the things and be satisfying? Will you still think something is missing? The only way to really know is through like loose exploration and just like seeing how it feels. My gut tells me that doing things like 100% realistic is not necessary, but figuring out where that line is, again, is going to be a matter of trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error. Figure out what's fun, you know?
Yeah, I mean, when I think about it, too, it's like, there's going to be so many things going on in Stonehearth. So, like, how much of your attention is going to be spent watching every single moment? And at the same time, how do we make sure that each of those moments feels like it's, like, resolved and belongs there and part of a world.
fits in
Like,
the world, yeah.
they're doing something in their, like, little lives. It's not just, here's a crappy little stand-in thing, doop doop. Go buy the anvil and do a dance. Congratulations. That's not how anything works. Okay, a flaming hot forge is convincing enough to make ingots. There we go. Like, this thing would be like, fire. That's a spicy turnip.
Yeah, that's a really spicy. It's a jalapeno flavored turnip.
Oh, so they have a hybrid. It's a jalapeno hybrid. Hi. Hello. Anyway, that's a little more haunted. We are getting really close to, like, actual ghost. But, you know, it's something crazy is going to have to happen in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're safe.
I think we're safe, guys. I think we're going to be all right.
I hope
The winking furnace belch.
I hope the belch is like the thumbnail for this video.
Kitty Cat says, I wish doing the dishes was like that. Do a dance and bingo, the dishes are done. You know, now that you mention it, that does sound like a pretty sweet way of doing things.
That would be a pretty good superpower.
Like, you go to your house, it's super messy, you just, like, start dancing. And, like, I don't know if it would be full-on Sword in the Stone, like, everything would put itself away, or if, like, when you're done dancing, your house is just impeccably clean. I don't know which version of that I like better.
Sword in the Stone, for sure. You know, your dishes have to dance, too.
Yeah. I always liked that scene.
Or Matilda, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like Matilda takes, like, more of a deliberate action. Whereas this is just pure on serendipity. I mean, it'd be really great if most problems could be solved by dancing poorly.
Wait, so now we're hiring... Sorry. Kitty O'Doom says, God's forbid you hire a bad dancer and everything ends up in shambles. So we have to hire a dancer first to do the dishes.
Okay, now that changes things. That changes things, because I'm not a very good dancer. So if that were a superpower, I would have to be very careful to never dance in my house.
Yeah. I think Dr. Neon agrees. Dr. Neon says,
okay.
Oh God, my dishes would all be broken.
Embedded in the wall, right? As Kitty O'Doom says, they'd be embedded in the wall. Like, it would just like, you don't even want to know. And for heaven's sake, don't do the Macarena. You don't even want to know what's going to happen.
That kind of spooked me. I think we should turn up the spook meter
if you
just
insist,
a little bit.
Look, I'm a little
just thinking
worried
about doing the Macarena and then having my dishes be broken.
Guys, for what it's worth, if this thing goes 100% haunted, there's very little chance that you will also be haunted from having been on this stream.
Yeah. Very, very small chance.
Very, very small chance. You might be 5% haunted.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that. Oh, Kitty O'Doom, don't inhale coffee.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Turn up the
haunted meter.
I'm upset.
You gotta draw a turnip on the top now.
But then what does this meter mean?
Because it's a haunted turnip meter.
Oh, God.
You gotta turn up the haunted meter.
I can't.
Oh.
It won't let me.
That's spooky, though.
But I know why it's doing that, but because I like the idea of it being... Okay, so Angelo spooked, so it still counts. Oh, man. I think we're safe, though.
Okay.
I think we're safe.
We've got 1 minute
We've
left.
got 1 minute.
I think we're gonna make it.
So unless something, like, crazy happens, like the house starts shaking or an actual ghost shows up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sad when Halloween's over. What are we gonna go for Halloween? I
don't know. I didn't even think of that.
The problem with making costumes is that you always get, like, way too ambitious. What if we went as the magma turtle?
Aw.
You just put a box on your back.
I just show up at work and I have to, like, sit on all fours all the time.
All right, folks. I think we've survived this round, but I mean, we got real close.
Yeah.
So sorry, Spirit of Voxel. Our stream room is named Voxel, in case that was weird for anyone else. But the ghost that haunts Voxel does not get us today. Yeah, probably. I imagine like this drawing animates and then just starts crying because it can't figure out what its hand is doing, and then it comes out of the screen and asks me, "Why did you draw me this way?" So yeah, I think that about wraps us up. We've got a lot of really good progress on this year drawing. Thanks everybody for keeping me company, and I hope that you found this informative, like peeking into the process of coming up with these ideas. Thanks for talking with us about crafter pets. Crafter pets is what we've called them.
Crafter pets.
And for staying with us despite the imminent threat of being haunted.
And turnips. Thank you for all the evil turnips, turnips.
Wait.
Candle dark turnips.
Yeah, right. It's sure.
Everyone shout turnip. Yeah. So that's great. Thank you so much for your turnip support.
Thanks for your support, Turnip Town. Turnip Town lives because of all of you. So yeah, we'll see you all next time. Be sure to tune in next week for another streamer doing more work on our lovely game.
I think it's Max.
It's gonna be Max, I think.
And me. Maybe.
Angelo's just gonna always be here now.
I think maybe I signed up for like 2 more in a row, so we'll see.
Sure. Anyway, it was super fun. I had a lot of fun hanging out with everybody. Y'all have a good night or morning or afternoon, wherever you may be, and we'll see you next time. I always get this wrong.
Bye.